Gina, you ready? We're ready. Chag Sameach, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Come have a seat. Hello. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Temple Emeth and to our Erev Simchat Torah Service. It's my pleasure to welcome you here to the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary in Teaneck, New Jersey, as we prepare to celebrate reading the end of the Torah, reading the beginning of the Torah, and all of the joy that the Torah brings to the Jewish people. So I have just a couple of announcements before we get started. First of all, if you're joining us on live stream, I'd like to say Bruchim Habaim to you and Chag Sameach. And if you're watching us on live stream, you should know that the Siddur that we're using this evening is Mishkan Tefillah for youth. And you can find a copy, hopefully in your home. Maybe you borrowed one from Temple Emeth earlier on, but if you don't have a copy at home, then you can go to our live stream page at emeth.org/livestream. Scroll down a little bit to where it says to access the Siddur prayer book, and then you can click on the link that says Mishkan Tefillah for Youth. If you do that, preferably on a second device, you'll be able to follow along with each and every song and prayer and page number of our service this evening. Also, if you're watching on live stream, I hope you'll take a moment to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. For example, your name or your location or a holiday greeting like Chag Sameach. And that way, others who are watching along with you will know that you're there. And you might know that they're there, and we form bonds of virtual community in this way. To our congregation in person, Chag Sameach to you. Hopefully you got a copy of Mishkan Tefillah for Youth as you entered the sanctuary. If you didn't, there is a table filled with them right outside the doors to our sanctuary, and I hope you'll take a moment and get one right now. Cantor Tillam wishes everyone Chag Sameach from Israel. She is on sabbatical. That means that she's taking some time off, a couple of weeks to see Israel, and the rest of the time to do other projects that will make her a better cantor in the long run. And so it is my pleasure to welcome to the Bima Ida Jean Fisher, Temple member who's worked very hard on this evening's music. And so we're going to begin our service with the lighting of our festival candles. So our festival stuff is in the back of Mishkan Tefillah for Youth, so you need to turn to page 154. And at the end of our service, one of the things our kids are looking forward to is a candy bar. It's like a candy buffet. And it was prepared by Joy Furshine with dutiful assistance from Ellie Cohn and Rachel Eastman. And so the three of them are now going to honor us with the lighting of our festival candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel yom tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehachianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu l'azman hazeh.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר קידשנו במצוותיו, וציוונו להדליק נר של יום טוב. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
We continue now with the Kiddush. The Hebrew for the Kiddush is on page 155, but we'll begin with the English at the bottom of page 154. Please rise if you are able for the Kiddush. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need and all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol am veromemanu mikol hashon v'kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava moadim lesimcha hagim uzmanim lesason et yom hashmini hag haseret hazeh zeman simchatenu mikra kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim u'moadei kodshecha besimcha u'sason hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Yisrael v'chazmanim.
Amen. L'chaim. We remain standing at this time as we turn now in our Siddur to page 22. I know it's unpopular to go backwards in the prayer book, but that's where we're going to find the Baruch Hu. We join together now in the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We turn now to page 29. We're here to celebrate the Torah and all of the wonderful things that it offers to us through its wisdom and its instruction and the connection that it helps us have to God. And so the reading on page 29 also reflects this connection that the Torah brings between the Jewish people and God. Please read with me in English. God, you gave us the Torah to show that you love us. May it always be a friend at our side. The Torah is our teacher. It tells us what is right and what is wrong. It shows us how to live good lives. Be with us always when we study Torah. Be with us always as we try to live good lives. We praise you, eternal our God, who gave the Jewish people the Torah. It is your special gift to us. It is the gift of your love. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. We turn now to pages 34 and 35 in the Siddur, the yellow pages with the large blue shin, and we join together in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Well, a moment ago we read an interpretation of the Ahavat Olam, which talks about God's love for us as we think about the Torah. And on page 37 is a reading that helps us think about our love for God. So we'll read responsively. It's like a question and answer. I'll ask the questions. Please read back the answers. How do we love God?
We love God when we do the deeds you say. Help us, God, to show you our love and grace.
How do we love God with all our hearts?
We love God with all our hearts, with love of the people. Help us,
How do we love God with all our minds?
We love God with all our minds when we study Torah. Help us, God, to learn your Torah.
How do we love God with all our strength?
We love God when we share what we have. Helping others is the way we love God with all our strength. Help us, God, to be people who give us enough.
Eternal our God, we want to show you we love you through all our deeds. May our love make the world a better place, the kind of world you meant it to be when you created us. We turn now to page 38. On page 38 is Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha was probably the last big moment in Jewish history before the Torah, because just 7 weeks after our ancestors saying Mi Chamocha, they came to Mount Sinai and they received the Torah, but they could not have received the Torah if they were not free and if they did not understand God's role in making them free. And Mi Chamocha expresses that. Please join us as we sing Mi Chamocha.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש. נורא תהילות עוזב אלה, נורא תהילות עוזב אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בונך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב ועלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
Amen. We turn now in our Siddur to page 46. Page 46 has the beginning of the Tefillah. Please rise if you are able for the Tefillah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באחווה, מלך עוזר, מושיח מגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
We remain standing as we turn to page 51. I had spoken about the Torah being a symbol of the connection between God and the Jewish people. On page 51, we see a crown. A crown is one of the symbols of the Torah, and we dress our Torahs with crowns. Not tonight. We took them off so the crown would not land on anybody's toe while we're dancing. But in general, you will see crowns on our Torahs. And here is a reading on page 51 that talks about another way that we connect with God by trying to be more like God. Please read with me. We are mighty like God when we help other people. We are powerful like God when we make peace in our families. We are strong like God when we feed the poor. We are great like God when we care for the sick. We are awesome like God when we help people to be free. We are amazing like God when we take care of our earth. O God, as we remember all the heroic things you do, We promise to try to be like you. Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh HaKol. Please be seated. We continue now with a moment for silent prayer, also known as Tfilat Halev. The inspirational readings in Mishkan Tefillah for the time of silent prayer are found on pages 62 and 63. It is my pleasure at this time to invite the sweet singers of Eitz Chaim to the bima. They have prepared a couple of songs, and so we will hear them under the direction of Thomas Dasho with assistance from our Eitz Chaim teen advisor, Emma Foyer. Eitz Chaim has prepared two songs for us this evening. The first is appropriate for this festival and every special occasion. That is the Shehechianu. And after they sing the Shehechianu, they prepared a song which really is meant to be a Simchat Torah song, so the timing for that one is perfect. Their second song this evening will be Torah Li. Thank you, and Yasher Koach to Eitz Chaim. You may be seated. And one of the lessons that the Torah teaches us really from the opening words is the importance of taking care of the environment. And so it is my pleasure at this time to call upon a member of our temple, Paul Kaufman, who has been challenging the members of Temple Emeth for a very long time to be conscious of the environment and the way we take care of the earth. And he has a project called Environmental Awareness Day that he would like to share with us. Paul.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good evening and Chag Sameach. I'm here to invite everyone in the congregation to participate in a day of environmental awareness. The day is sponsored by Green Faith, which is an international faith-based interfaith environmental organization which Temple Emeth supports. The event is simple. On any single day during the last 2 weeks of October or the first week of November, each member household is invited to focus awareness on the environment by engaging in an environmental activity. Information about recommended environmental actions will be forthcoming, but included are such things as not using heat or air conditioning on that day except if temperatures are extreme, not using the automobile except in cases of emergency or necessity, paying attention to household use of electricity, gas, and water, and attempting to reduce their consumption. Young people are specifically asked to shut off running water, turn off lights in unoccupied rooms, and reduce waste as much as possible. Participation in this program is optional, and there is no, quote, penalty for non-participation. However, shortly after the participation period ends, we will survey the congregation to see who has engaged in which activities. I hope that many of you will participate. Again, Chag Sameach.
Thank you, Paul, and Yasher Koach for all the work that you do on behalf of the environment, both here at Temple Emeth and in other venues on behalf of Green Faith. Okay, so we are going to take out the Torahs in just a minute, and this congregation is going to have to multitask for the next minute or two. Here are our various tasks. I will present them to you. Task number one is that Talia Serbiu is going to distribute a flag to any young person who would like a flag to wave during Simchat Torah. Task number two is that Stacy Butler will give a raffle ticket to anyone who did not get one on the way in, because we are going to raffle off an authentic jar, just one authentic jar of Temple Emeth honey. Ooh, I guess if it's honey, we should say okay, and then our third task of the multitasking is that if you would like to hold the Torah during the hakafot, during the time when we walk around the room and dance with the Torahs, I need to know now, because I'm going to write your name down and I'm going to make sure you get a chance. We're going to space out the marching and the music to a certain extent to make sure everybody gets a chance. So now you need to hear the rules. There are two eligibility requirements to hold a Torah. Eligibility requirement number one is you must be Jewish, and eligibility requirement number two is you must be at least 13 years old. So if you meet those eligibility requirements and you would like to walk around the sanctuary with the Torah, raise your hand or your flag, but hand is probably better. Okay, I see, for the first one, I see Ellie, and I see Pauline, and I see Paula, and I see Rose, and I see Nancy. Isaac, are you? And I see Isaac. So that is going to be the first hakafa: Ellie, Pauline, Paula, Rose, Nancy, and Isaac. Let's keep going. Who else would like to hold the Torah? I see Rachel, and I see other Rachel. You guys can duke it out over who is Rachel and other Rachel. I see Susan. Who's over there? Oh, I see Joy. Wait, who's way over on the side? I can't see her that far. Oh, Talia will hold her, and then she'll tell you how much she charges to do that, in your house per hour. Okay. Anyone else? Pixie has been volunteered by her son. That gives us 5 for the second hakafa. We have 6 Torahs. Dan has volunteered. Okay, or been volunteered maybe. Okay, so That is a multiple of 6. That works very well. But if seeing those people raise their hands has now inspired you, it's your last chance to raise your hand to hold a Torah. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about the actual hakafot. So when I call them up, our volunteers who've just been identified are going to come up on the bima. They're going to take a Torah. They're going to hug it tight. You will be amazed at how much lighter the Torahs are when the silver is not on them. The silver has been removed, not stolen, don't worry. It has been removed by me and a dutiful subcommittee of Saturday morning volunteers so that it will not fall and hit anyone on the toe or the forehead or dent or anything like that. So they're not that heavy when the silver's off of them. And so what's going to happen is that the Torah holders are going to walk once around, halfway around the sanctuary. So I think the first group will go this way, and the second group will go that way. And if you're inspired, you should get out of your row, out of your seats, and you should walk behind them. But here's the thing. When the music starts playing a little faster, people who want to dance should dance around the perimeter, and people who just want to wave their flags near the Torahs, all the Torahs will be in the center aisle. There was no way to rehearse this part, but my favorite expression since this pandemic began is, what could possibly go wrong? Okay, so have we completed flag distribution? Have we completed raffle ticket distribution? Okay, we've completed the taking of names for the carrying of the Torah, and so that means that we are ready to continue with our Torah service. So we're going to turn now to page 141, and I'll invite our first 6 volunteers, Ellie, Pauline, Paula, Carla, who's Ellie, Pauline, Carla, I wrote down Paula, but I meant Carla, Rose, Nancy, and Isaac. See, that's what happens when you can't read your own writing. It says Carla now, I fixed it. And as they are getting ready to receive their Torahs, all of us are going to turn to page 141, page 141 in Mishkan Tefillah for Youth, because we have a special reading that is meant to introduce this process of celebrating with the Torah. So please read with me. Torah is a closed book until it is read with an open heart. House of Israel, great and small, open your heart to the words of Torah. Torah sanctifies life. It teaches us how to be human and holy. House of Israel, near and far, cherish the eternal sign of God's love. You know what? I think we're going to stop halfway, and we're going to read the second half when the second group of volunteers comes up. So remember page 141, and now please rise as we take the Torahs from the heart.
Shema, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Gadlu l'Adonai iti, uneram meman shemo yagdal.
Okay, Isaac's going to go first. Walk slowly down the stairs, followed by Ellie, followed by Carlos. Okay, who's first, Anna? Go ahead.
Adonai Hoshiana. v'yatzlichana. An Adonai anenu v'yom kareinu. Ay, ay, ay. Anenu, anenu v'yom kareinu. Anenu, anenu v'yom kareinu. Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel chai. 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 Or Avinu chai, Or Avinu chai. Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu chai. Am Israel, Am Israel,
Okay,
Am
Ellie, go to the
Israel.
middle.
Am Israel, Am Israel, Am Israel chai. 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 Or Avinu chai, Or Avinu chai. Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu chai. Or Avinu chai, Or Avinu chai. Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu chai. Nice Torah toting, folks.
Oh my God, I can't read my writing. Okay, Ellie is going to give her Torah to Rachel. First Rachel. Pauline is going to give her Torah to other Rachel. Carla will give it to Susan. Rose will give it to Joy. Nancy will give it to Pixie. And Isaac will give it to Dan.
Uh-oh.
I tried to tell you.
Can we do this like
I think people like the shininess. Okay, so let me say what I saw. I saw lots of excellent flag waving, and I saw lots of excellent clapping, and some good singing along with Ida Jean. I didn't see any marching. So here's what I like. All children, other than Linda Postganzer, the chair of our adult ed committee, longtime member, I didn't see any marching. And so what I'd like to do now is invite all the kids to come stand up here in front of the front row, because that's perfect getting ready for marching position. And anyone who needs to go with a kid to make sure the kid has enough confidence, and anyone who is a kid at heart, no, just stay right there on the floor. You don't need to come up on the beam. It's just right there on the floor. And yes, you're going to follow behind. Now, I also didn't see any dancing, and that might have been because Ellie and Carla, who are very famous for their dancing, were holding Torahs. But Ellie, Carla, and anyone else who wants to do a little bit of dancing, that's what the perimeter of the sanctuary is for. It's for a little bit of dancing in honor of the Torah. Okay, so now that I've given a few additional stage instructions, we're back on page 141 so that we can read the second half of the Simchat Torah reading. This is our Torah. Its words are the same ones that our parents and grandparents read. In all times and places, its words never change. May our children and grandchildren, and their children and grandchildren, read its words as well. In this scroll is everything that has made the Jewish people special from Mount Sinai until today. The Torah teaches us love and justice, goodness and hope and freedom. Okay, so kids, you need to sort of park the waters here. The Torah's going to come through. So all kids take a step down. Take a step to one side and the other. Step all the way. So it's time to stop. Nobody needs to stand on the steps. Come on, take a step down. Just right over here, because the Torahs have to go first. That's all. And as soon as you see 6 Torahs walk past you, stand right over here, my good man. Marcos, right over here, my good man. All right. I think we're ready for a little Torah marching music. Rachel first, then Susan. Go ahead, whenever you're ready.
An Adonai Adonai Hatzlichana, Adonai Anenu, V'yom Kareinu, ay, 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 Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Kareinu, Anenu, Anenu, V'yom Kareinu. Avinu Shalom Aleichem, Avinu Shalom Aleichem, Avinu Shalom Aleichem, Avinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Shalom Aleinu, Avinu Shalom Aleinu, Avinu Shalom Aleinu. Avinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleinu. Avinu Shalom Aleinu. Avinu Shalom Aleinu. Avinu Shalom, Shalom, Shalom Aleinu. Zagor, Goychen. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo ילמדו עוד מלחמה. yisagoy el goy cherem, lo ילמדו עוד מלחמה. lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo ילמדו עוד מלחמה. lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב,
לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
Yes, yes, okay, so this one needs to be addressed. Dan, would you fix the address or fix it? Maybe? Sit down. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I should Yes, what I thought it like.
I think that's it. That's,
Oh,
that's,
okay.
that's all the Torah carriers I have. So, thank you.
That was it, yeah, so. Just without a photo, yeah.
Okay, Torah carriers, thank you. Can you sit there, Susan? Do you mind?
Am I good?
You're good. Okay, you may be seated. Okay, Yasher Koach to our Torah holders. Thank you very much. Now, we have a couple of other honors that doesn't involve any heavy lifting. Same criteria apply. We're going to need, oh, I lied about the heavy lifting. We need one person to lift, one person who's right-handed to lift the Devarim Torah, first Torah that's heavy on the right side, and then someone to dress it, and then a left-handed person presumably to lift the Bereshit Torah with the beginning, and someone to dress it. So who is up for a little right-handed Torah lifting? I see. Who's up for the left-handed Torah lifting? Isaac. Okay, so Isaac will lift Bereshit. Who wants to do some Torah dressing? Okay, Linda, you'll dress the first Torah. And who else want? And Joy will do some Torah dressing. Excellent. Yes, we're basically done with the flag waving. So if you want to return your flag to Talia, she is happy to take it. Talia, did you give that baby's mother your number yet? Okay. So we are up to the end of the Torah. Is that right? Here we go. Okay, so here is our custom. Our custom is, well, the custom in every synagogue on Simchat Torah is to read the very end of the Torah. And our custom here at Temple Emeth is to invite back everyone who became a bar bat mitzvah since last Simchat Torah until now. In other words, their bar bat mitzvah is still fresh, less than a year old. They are a very busy group. I texted, there's only 5 of them, and I texted them all. They're a fine group of young people. They're not here. So, I would like, except for the member of our confirmation class who's here and gets an honor in just a minute, I would like to invite up anyone who had their bar bat mitzvah here at Temple Emeth on the bima of the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary to come on up and have this honorary aliyah. I know you got to do it previously because you did it the first Simchat Torah after your bar bat mitzvah, but here we go again. Look at the diversity of people. Okay, now, in addition, so all of you guys come stand more or less on my right because you all have to do it in unison right here, and I have to find my spot. Oh, I found my spot. Okay. In addition, I have a blessing planned for all of our religious school students. So, religious school students, Simchat Torah is a perfect chance for not only to get a blessing, which is cool, but to also come and see the Torah up close because it is not a frequent opportunity. So, if you were standing right there for Eitz Chaim, I know that you're a religious school student, and maybe there are some non-singers who are also religious school students. You are all invited now. Don't let the opportunity pass, for it may not come this way again, according to that reading. Okay, so come on up because you will get a close-up view of the Torah. And if you are not tall enough for a close-up view of the Torah, we can address that. Yeah. 7:13. Oh man, I better hurry. Okay, here, come step right here. I'm going as fast as I can. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I know what to do about it, but I don't know what to do about it right now. Yeah. SoFair.com. Okay. All right. So people who are not yet bar bat mitzvah are on my left. You have a good view of the Torah here. Wait, you don't have a good view of the Torah. Come on over. There's a step right here for you. See, it's a double step. So go ahead and take 2 steps up. No, not you, Ben. There we go. All right. Now everyone can see the Torah. All right. Oh, can you see the Torah? Okay, come right over here, right next to me. Now can you see the Torah? Okay, everybody who had a bar bat mitzvah on this bima, we're ready for you. Ready? Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed, Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Amen, amen. Vayamot sham Moshe eved Adonai, be'eretz Moav al pi Adonai, vayikbor oto v'agai, be'eretz Moav mul beit peor. V'lo yada ish et kavurato ad hayom hazeh, uMoshe ben me'av esrim shana b'moto, lo kahata eno v'lo naslecho, vayivku b'nei Yisrael, et Moshe be'ervot Moav shloshim yom, Vayitmu Yemei Vechi Evel Moshe V'Yoshua bin Nun Malei Ruach Chochma Ki Samach Moshe Et Yadav Alav Vayishmeu Elav Bnei Yisrael Ve'asu Ka'asher Tziva Adonai Et Moshe V'lo kam Navi Od B'Yisrael K'Moshe Asher Yada'o Adonai Panim El Panim Lechol Ha'otot V'Hamoftim Asher Shalacho Adonai La'asot Be'eretz Mitzrayim Lifaro Ulechol Avadav Ulechol Artso Ulechol Hayad HaChazaka Ulechol Hamorah HaGadol Asher Asa Moshe Le'enei Kol Yisrael. All right, now kids, witness. It's the end, right? There's nothing left. It's just the parchment sewn onto the Eitz Chaim. So we have accomplished half of our Simchat Torah goal. We've read the end of the Torah. And when we end the Torah, we say three words which mean strength, strength, and may we be strengthened. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Okay. Amen. Okay, Yasher Koch to all of our B'nai Mitzvah alumni. You may be seated, but kids in the religious school, come on up. If you want to put a hand on the Torah, you may put a hand on the Torah. We don't put our hands on the inky parts of the Torah, but you can put your hand on the wooden part or the outside of the parchment. There should be enough room for everyone to touch the Torah. And while you're touching the Torah, I would like to offer this blessing for you and for the process of learning Torah that each one of you is a part of. Because the Torah is a tree of life to those who hold on to it real tight. We hope that this Torah will be one that teaches you many valuable lessons. We hope that this Torah will give you joy as it does on this day. We hope that this Torah will inspire you to live Jewish lives and to teach these important lessons to your children. And so now I'd like to offer this blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ye'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichoneka. May God's light shine down upon you and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom. May God's Spirit lift you up and may God give you shalom, the gift of peace, now and always. And let us say, Amen. Okay, religious school students, you've been blessed. You may be seated. Okay, Linda, come on up for the dressing of the first Torah. I'm right-handed, so that's good. Okay, so before you take this, you're going to have to roll the top.
Oh,
So I'm going to put this right here. Put this where I'm not going to trip on it.
That's a good idea.
Why don't you stand right over there? Okay, please rise as I lift the first Torah scroll.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. תורה אורה 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 תורה אורה אורה סבולני תורה אורה 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 תורה ציווה לנו משה. Torah Sivola Moshe, Torah Sivola Moshe, Torah Sivola Moshe, Torah Sivola Moshe.
You may be seated. Okay, so we read the end of the Torah, so now what logically comes next is the beginning of the Torah. Now, actually, tomorrow morning at our Simchat Torah morning service, we are, in addition to reading the end and the beginning, we are going to read the next book of the Bible after the Torah, which is the book of Joshua, because even though the Torah ends with the death of Moses, the story of the Israelites continues, and the Israelites go on to enter their own land and to have challenges and successes. And so we read about that beginning in the book of Joshua, but we also read the very beginning. So the beginning is called, in English it's called Genesis. In Hebrew it's called Bereshit, and it tells about the very beginning of the universe. According to Jewish tradition, nothing happened in all of time before the words that I'm about to read to you from the book of Genesis. And in fact, can anyone tell me the very first letter of the Torah, the first Hebrew letter? I'll give you a hint. The first Hebrew word is Bereshit. So now do you think any of our students, having heard that the word is Bereshit, can tell me the first letter? Xander. The first letter is Bet. Now here's a harder question, Xander, but you're up to the task. Can you describe what a bet looks like in words? What is the shape of a bet? Can you picture it? Otherwise, we can go back to page 22 in Mishkan Tefillah for you, and there's a huge bet there, and you can use from that. But can you describe it? An inverted N. Yes, it's on its side, right? And the open part faces out to the rest of the words. And it's closed on the top, and it's closed on its back, and it's closed on its bottom, but it is open at the front because, according to tradition, this is the very beginning of history. There's nothing more to know before this letter bet or above it or below it. We as Jews need only to know what comes in front of it. Okay, so it is our second tradition. This one has a representative to honor our previous confirmation class. So we had 5 wonderful young people become confirmed last Shavuot. And they also are very busy, wonderful people, but we have one who is wonderful and was able to carve the time out of her schedule. So it is my pleasure to call upon Rebecca Gomez to represent her confirmation class to come on up. Confirmation, as she's coming up, let me tell you that confirmation is our optional honors program for 10th grade students at Temple Emeth. In confirmation, come stand right next to me on my right. In confirmation, we study our faith. We usually go to some kind of performance. We learn about Yom HaShoah together, and we prepare to lead the Shavuot service together. And so Rebecca was a proud, and they all write an essay. So Rebecca was a proud member of the confirmation class of 5782. And so now, Rebecca, put your hand right there so it doesn't roll shut on me. And now, to do the blessing for the very beginning of the Torah, we're ready. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai, repeat it. Baruch Adonai.
I didn't know I was doing this.
Oh, you didn't know you were doing this? Okay, we will do it together. Ready? We'll do this line. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. By the way, Temple Sinai, Oakland, California, confirmation class of 1986. So, we are confirmation connected now. Here we go. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. V'ha'aretz hayta tohu vavohu v'choshech al pnei tehom v'ruach Elohim mirachefet al pnei hamayim v'yomer Elohim yihi or v'yehi or v'yar Elohim et ha'or ki tov V'yavdel Elohim bein ha'or uvein ha'choshech. Vayikra Elohim la'or yom v'lachoshech kara laila. Vayhi erev vayhi voker yom echad. Okay, ready? Baruch atah. Together. Yes, together still. Confirmation and confirmation. Here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. Okay, Yasher Koach. Don't leave quite yet, Rebecca, because the last thing I want to say with Rebecca here is that another Temple Emeth tradition is that every confirmation class gives a gift back to the temple. And Rebecca's class gave a cart upon which we put equipment so that we can do Zoom hybrid technology-based learning. And so now, okay, live stream booth, it's your moment. Now, if you look on that screen, you are going to see a photo, or maybe that screen, I don't know. Take my word for it. There it is. Okay, look over your shoulders, everybody. And there is a picture. Okay, Amanda's going to figure out how to go. There is a picture of the cart. Now, to be clear, the confirmation class did not donate the computer on the cart. I put that there for context. But the cart that is holding the computer and holding that equipment, it lives in the library, but we're going to be using it in the library, in the youth lounge, and yesterday we even used it in the sukkah so that we could have services on Zoom in the sukkah, and it is thanks to Rebecca and her family and the other confirmation families, there it is, that we have our new technology cart. So when we get a new gift at Temple Emeth, it is customary to respond in the following way. Ooh, ah, and thank you to Rebecca. You now may be seated. Okay, what's happening next? Oh, we're lifting the Torah. So I'd like to call upon Isaac Pierce for the lifting of the Torah and Joy Furshine for the dressing of the Torah. Isaac, hold on just a second, because this is the menorah Torah.
Who's watching my baby readings?
Okay, please rise. Susan, you're finished. You can sit down. Okay, and Joy, start with the front. Oh, here's the hang on a second. Okay, I'm going to hold this down for you. Okay, bend your knees, get all the way.
We're ready?
We're ready.
Oh, we're ready?
וזאת התורה שעשה משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ויד משה. יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי 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 יאללה לי יאללה לי לי יאללה לי 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 Yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la la, yalla la la, yalla yalla yalla.
Please remain standing as we prepare to return the Torah to the ark. Please remain standing for the Aleinu. The Aleinu is found in the Siddur on page 130.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei kedula le'otzer bereshit, shelo asanu ke'oyeh haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu ka'em, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר בחיי אדוני למלך על כל Vayom hahu, yiyeh Adonai echad, u'shema echad.
We remain standing for a reading before the Mourner's Kaddish found on page 132. As our service ends, we think about people whose lives have ended. Some of them we knew, and they were very special to us. We loved them, and we missed them very much. Others we did not know, but we honor them as well. We think of our loved ones as we turn to page 134, and we join together in the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agalav v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mivorach leolam ulamei almaya. Yitzbarach v'yishtarach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dukudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. Please be seated. Stacy, come on up with the tickets. Okay, we're about to do the drawing for the Temple Emeth jar of honey. But before we do that, I want you to pay close attention. Oh boy, they're being shaken up and everything. Okay, here are the announcements that you, our young families, need to know. So first of all is immediately following our service, everyone is invited into the social hall, where we are going to unveil the candy bar, okay? Now, even though it's exciting, and even though I'm sure none of you are going to get candy in just 2 weeks from strangers, you still have to act like a mensch. Don't elbow anyone out of the way. Don't start scooping it into your sweatshirt. Don't put more candy in your mouth than will fit. Act like a decent human being, even in the presence of unlimited candy. It's not literally unlimited. It will just seem that way. So, thank you again to Joy Furshine and her candy bar committee of Ellie Cohn and Rachel Eastman for putting it together. We will enjoy it in just a minute. Our next family service is going to be on the first Friday of November, Friday, November 4th at 7:30. In addition to all the great things that are always at a family service, like, great music and a birthday blessing and stuff like that, Cantor Tillum is going to make a rare reappearance from her sabbatical because we are going to be consecrating our new religious school students And we are going to have a guest from URJ Camp Harlem to tell us about the wonderful way you can spend a summer at Camp Harlem in the Poconos. So all of that is something to look forward to on November 4th at 7:30. Let's say some thank yous. Thank you to Ida Jean Fisher for leading our music this evening. And she got to work with two accompanists. I think Tom, I think he went home already. He's taken the second half of the holiday off, but he'll be back tomorrow morning. So thank you to Thomas Dashio for leading Eitz Chaim, and to Richard Bookbinder for accompanying Ida Jean on the second half of the service. Thank you to our Eitz Chaim wonderful singers for singing Shechianu and Torah Lee, and to all of our participants who held the Torah. Whether I said your name properly or not, we thank you for having an active part in showing us how to hold the Torah tight. Okay, I think that's it for thank you. So take out your raffle tickets, because the winner of the honey is the one holding the ticket that says, okay, here we go. It is the ticket that says 331, they all say 331, 6, 8, 331-688. Are you still here? Who's our winner? Barbara Balkin. Oh, Barbara, like someone being called by the ritual committee, Barbara declines the honor. So here we go. It's like second chance at the lotto. Here we go. 331-681. Carla Silver is the winner. Okay, so mazel tov to Carla. Enjoy it. If you want, you can go up to Carla with a plastic spoon and see if she'll share. But okay. Oh, it says thank you. So I did that. Last chance to post in the chat. If you've been watching us on live stream, our service is coming to an end, so it is your last chance to post in the chat. Maybe you had a favorite part of the service. Maybe you can debate online in the chat or comment section whether you enjoyed hearing the end of Devarim or the beginning of Bereshit. Or maybe you can just type in the chat the same words that we here in the sanctuary are going to say to one another. We conclude our service by turning to one another and saying, Chag Sameach.
Sam, she's hot love tonight.